true question that we're going to go over right now is Carmen. They want to know, when should you change the spindle belt versus the spindle, or vice versa. So in this instance, we've got our green cutter belt. It's right here. It's a nice little green rubberized band. You can see that, it's still taut, very tight, but it's not loose by any means. But it's not very, very tight. You'll notice a big difference in them. You can go ahead and see that it struggles a little bit when you want to get it off here. If that isn't happening, then you know that this has become loose. And once this works its way too loose, like an old leather belt would, you'll need to buy a new one of these. They're only about $8 to $10, so it's not that big of a deal. If it's not the cutter band and you replace it and you're still having the same issue as far as you're not getting proper quality, it's not spinning fast enough, a nice way to know that you've lost the tension is you've got to continue to turn your RPMs up in order to get the same quality that you've been getting. That lets you know that there's only two issues that it can be. It can be your cutter band, which is your green, or the bearings and the spindle are starting to go. Which, an easy way to tell that your bearings are bad in your spindle, if you get a lot of crackling and it's very hard to turn. It's still spinning, but it's still, you'll feel it pulling. I know it's hard to tell you how to feel it on camera, but you will definitely feel it grabbing and wanting to stay as you twist this. So yeah, you can turn the RPMs up and get it past here, but it's not spinning very nicely. Like, see how easy this spins? That's how you'll know that your spindle's bad inside the bearings, is this is getting very hard. Other than that, the cutter band it's pretty hard to tell when it's truly bad. Other than, again, you've got to turn the RPMs up, it's torn, it's extremely loose, like you don't even have to do this, it just comes off here when it's spinning sometimes. That's just blatantly, you need a new cutter band. But other than that, you're going to have to really know the difference between, is this spinning well enough, and how this looks over time. Other than that, that's really it for when you're going to want to change that. You'll know if your spindle's bent. You won't have you won't have good up and down movement, but that can also be these screws, these two screws that hold your spindle in. If this isn't going up and down very easily, these can be too tight, both these screws. That's what holds it in this molding. If those are too tight, this won't go up and down freely, which is going to give you poor engraving. So I would loosen these a little bit, and once you know that it's loose, the easiest way to do it, I'll just show you real quick, is you would loosen these until this spindle wants to fall down. Once this spindle wants to fall down, you know that they're too loose, so go ahead and you're just going to twist them another half turn, and now you should get this. That's the easiest way to know if these are too tight or too loose. So you can go up and down, and you're going to get a nice play in it. If that's not happening, then you know the shaft inside is bad, or the bearings. And you'll know that you'll need to send your spindle in for depot or just buy a new one. We always tell people that are in true fabrication or anything that when you're down, money's lost, and it's a lot of money. We always recommend you buy the spindle and then send yours in for depot, and we can fix it and send it to you, and then you'll have a backup spindle. Same way with the cutter bands. Always just have an extra one. That way when it does go bad, you're not down, especially if you're in a 24-hour setting.